But then there's also Tee Higgins, who has been, the leading guy this offseason, the past couple off seasons, as a potential target for the Patriots. He was franchise tagged by the Bengals this year, and after that is when Higgins requested a trade for the first time, because he's requested a trade twice this offseason. So the first time was, okay, well, he didn't, I'm sure he's fine playing on the franchise tag tender because it's like 21 million or something like that. Then he was trying to be positive, at least in the media, because people were asking him, like, do you plan on playing for the Bengals this year? And he's like, yeah, like, that's the plan. He says that he wants to stay there because obviously the Bengals are in their championship window, as most people say. But they don't appear to be in any rush to keep Higgins on the roster. The first time that he requested a trade, that is exactly what he said, that there hadn't been any extension conversations with the team and himself since last year. And they had said that they were going to have these conversations again. He made it public again, so you thought maybe Cincinnati, the guys upstairs, would take it seriously, but apparently not. So Higgins was not dealt. He was not traded during the draft, which a lot of people thought he would be. And so I think in the lead up to the draft, he requested another trade, or he requested a trade again, because those conversations have not ignited again. So we know that the Bengals are going to have to pay for Joe Burrow. They're paying for Jamar Chase. They're going to be paying for their offensive linemen. Like, they have a lot of people that they need to pay for. And if Higgins isn't a priority, it doesn't make any sense to me why they wouldn't just deal him now. I know that they said, okay, well, we're trying to win a championship and Higgins is a part of that and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, but you're not trying to keep him beyond the 2024 season. So the best case scenario, in my eyes, would be to deal him when he's the hottest and the most desirable, which is right now, instead of waiting until next year to let him walk in free agency, or try to franchise tag him again, which is going to be even higher because it's going to include the fact that he was franchise tagged this year, which is going to be like 26 million or something like that. And deal with the potential holdout situation, because obviously he does not want to be franchise tagged. He wants to be extended. So I feel like it makes sense. Like, if you're going to inevitably just not re-sign him, then try and get something in return. So Bleacher Report actually proposed a trade that would allow the Patriots to get Tee Higgins. So they have the trade as the Patriots get Higgins and they send the Bengals a 2025 second rounder, a 2025 fifth, and a 2026 sixth rounder. So to me, that feels like a steal. I think that they could even potentially get maybe even a third. There was a lot of talk about that they wouldn't necessarily receive a first or second rounder in return for Higgins. But I would be okay with this. Like, it seems like a good deal to me. I think that it's maybe something they should consider, but only if they view Higgins as a number one guy. There are people who don't view him as that, despite the fact that he was the guy before they drafted Chase a year later. But we're going to have to figure something out through a trade sooner rather than later if they want a top receiver, unless they plan on using their first round pick, whatever it is, next year on a receiver, because the new contracts that they have been dishing out to, like, AJ Brown and whoever else, I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're massive. So if you want to get a guy before you have to pay them even more, you should probably do it now. When you know what the market is, you have the money this year, you have the money next year. They have almost like 200 million in cap space available next year. So to me, that makes the most sense.